All right, so we lost first place, but we still got 11 weeks of football left. I ain't worried. What is up, everybody? My name is Advance, and welcome back to another episode of Buck Dynasty. All right, so all right, Monday Night Football, Week 7 for the Buccaneers versus the Detroit Lions. We knew it was going to be a tough game. And there was number 1 and number 2 duking it out for the right to be number 1. And, of course, Buccaneers came up short. Actually, we didn't come up short. We came up long. We wasn't even close. Oh, man. But nevertheless, chalk this up to the usual suspects, Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown. They really did their thing. Yeah, Jared Goff, outside of that one fumble, he did a pretty good job. And the Lions defense, aside from that one obvious holding / pass interference call on Mike Evans, they did a solid job too. They know how to generate turnovers. It seemed like they was punching the ball out every play, which I'm gonna need to have a talk with my ball controllers. Oh man, but nevertheless, Detroit Lions, they are hard to beat at home. So they ended up winning 24-9. I definitely thought we was going to score a little bit more points, but hey, it was 14-3 going into halftime. And when your defense makes a stop, especially on a disrespectful 4th down stand in the red zone, a fumble, a very well-needed fumble recovery, an interception, a very timely interception, on a team that is capable of scoring 21 points and a half, we definitely should have won this game. So, yeah, it should have at least been 14-17 going into halftime. But, yeah, we just couldn't get the offense rolling in the first half. That's why I always say, if anything else, at least get 1 touchdown per quarter. You get 7. You get a touchdown in the first quarter, touchdown in the second quarter, that's 14. Touchdown in the third quarter, that's 21. Touchdown in the fourth quarter, that's 28. What did I say the Lions beat us by? 24-9. That's 28 points that we could have had. But nevertheless, the 3 and outs, the slippery balls, dropping the ball all over the place, fumbling, and it just seemed like that the defense just had our offense pegged. They knew our offense better than we did, because there was a lot of double plays, and it seemed like the safeties knew exactly where to be. The safeties, the linebackers, everybody was on point. Well, we could barely get 4 or 5 yards. And another thing I'll say is that our offense was way too conservative when we didn't need it to be. And at the times when we were being aggressive, Baker Mayfield was being too aggressive, overthrowing receivers. Mike Evans went down in the first half, and that was sad to see. And the thing is that Baker Mayfield is still throwing jump balls like Mike Evans is still out there. We hadn't even gotten McMillan back yet. And McMillan was the guy that we drafted to replace Mike Evans. So he's the guy that can make those jump balls. Now, Tez Johnson tried. We all know, we saw last week how athletic and acrobatic that he is. But, it's only but so much that he can do. Now, with that being said, what I've seen from our rookies, I'm very proud of. I liked Ibuka. There was some cases where he was wide open because we could have easily gotten 3 touchdowns before the end of this game. But Baker either overthrew him, threw it too far in front of him, threw it too high. Just got to bring it down a little bit. And I know Baker wants to, I guess it's hard to say because Baker saw that the receivers they were getting hands on balls. They was getting hands. Oh my God, that came out wrong. They was batting the ball down a lot. So whether it was at the line of scrimmage, whether it was on the linebackers or the linebacker level in the secondary, they was swatting the ball down before our receivers even had a chance at it. There was one time where the ball hit the receiver. Oh no, it hit the safety or the corner right in the back of the head. So yeah, at the end of the day, it just wasn't our night. So that's fine. I'm comfortable. Well, nobody likes to lose, but if we gotta lose, gotta be one of two things. One, if it's out of conference, which it wasn't, unfortunately. 2, if it's like a top tier team. Like, you couldn't imagine losing to a team that you had no business losing to. That's no. But by the way, there was an announcement that happened earlier. What was it? Sunday. I think it was either Sunday or Monday or early Monday. Doug Martin, former prominent Buccaneer, has passed away. I haven't seen what exactly it was, but nevertheless, rest in peace to the Duggernaut. We're gonna miss you, and we have missed you. So yeah, I mentioned Mike Evans went down in the first half. He was being covered by Rock Ya-Sin, and Rock got there a little early, grabbing the shoulder pad and everything, and brought him down. And Mike came down on his shoulder, so they took him off the field. And he was diagnosed with a concussion and a shoulder injury, and I think I saw earlier today that he actually broke his clavicle. So I saw conflicting reports. Neither of them are good. So one of them said that he's going to be out for the season. The other one said he's going to miss most of the season. But nevertheless, regardless of which outcome it is, it's probably safe to say that Mike Evans won't get his 1,000-yard season this year, and that's sad because I really wanted to see him break Jerry Rice's record. But nevertheless, he tied Jerry Rice, and he's already set a record of his own because he's still the first player that had 10 consecutive seasons of 1,000 yards a year in his first 10 seasons. So there is that, but nevertheless, I'm probably going to talk some more about this later. And like Dan Quinn with the unlimited challenges, that's it. We had because we had a few big plays that was overturned. Cade Otton's 4th down try. Now, as the rule states, if even a sliver of that ball touches that line, then it's a first down. But the refs obviously didn't think so. So I mean, it might have been off by like a millimeter when you see the freeze frame and you see how close the ball was. But Dan Quinn had a good eye for that. We had that was the second thing that happened with Cade Otton. We had the first one was we had an interception that was taken away from him, even though the tie goes to the receiver, but they deemed that he lost control at the end of the play, at the end of the catch when both of them was on the ground. And yeah, they ripped the ball from us. We had a fumble. So yeah, it was just a bad night for the Buccaneers. Then that's what I chalk it up as. And you know what? While being in first place for a week was nice, I said last week in the video last week that I didn't really like being in first place. I don't like leading from the front. I always like to kind of hang around, and then when they least suspect, strike. But yeah, nevertheless, we still in good position, still first place in our division, and yeah, as far as I'm concerned, we still got a clear line to the playoffs. And any team that we usually lose to during the regular season, more often than not, we're gonna see them in the playoffs anyway. So yeah, we already know Philly gonna make it, and it's probably a definite that Detroit's gonna make it. So hey, we're gonna get the round twos. We're gonna get the round twos in the off season or in the postseason. All right, but yeah, nevertheless, let's get into these standings and see how these what these standings look like. These are backwards. How is San Francisco ahead of us? Green Bay is somehow still number one. Granted, even though they don't have 5 wins, but they don't have 2 losses. Oh man, that tie just really messed everything up. But no, San Francisco, we just beat San Francisco last week. The Eagles being ahead of us, that makes sense. Actually, hold on, no, we should be 4. The Lions, that's right, I'm looking at hold on. NFC conference standings.
The Packers are number 1 in the NFC.
Yeah, I know that. Oh yeah, this is all kinds of messed up. Yeah, they got the Packers as number 1. They got 49ers as number 2. The Eagles number 3. Buccaneers number 4. And the Lions number 5. No, the Lions should be... Technically, the Lions should be number 2. San Francisco shouldn't even be on here. They should be below us. You know what? I'm gonna let them have it. Whatever the case, I don't know. We still leading our division. We getting a playoff. We getting a playoff game. We're getting a home playoff game regardless. I don't care. But all right. Nevertheless, those are my thoughts on the Monday night game between the Buccaneers and the Lions. What do you think? What did you think about the game? Was it just the Buccaneers night, or did we get exposed? Oh, did we get exposed? Are we not going? Are we not as good as we think we are? And the Lions just shook our confidence. I don't know. We're going to have to find out next week, and then we're going to have to find out 3 weeks from now when we come back from the bye. But nevertheless, my name is Advance. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on everything. I'm out.